check it out. Spotify show. Every Tuesday and Thursday. Well, what do you know? It's the Spotify show.
What up? It's your boy, The Real Ghost, back at it again. We got Crash Love in the building. And we also got Justin Watson, warmonger, the fastest knockout in bare knuckle history. Check out his highlights. We'll put them down in the comments below. But here's Justin Watson. I'm
What's up,
glad
guys?
you're on the show, Justin. Yeah. I can't. It's warmonger. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Crash Love, and I'm the Real Ghost. And I got a couple questions for you. Got a little time.
Let's do it.
Yeah. What drew you to bare knuckle boxing instead of traditional boxing or MMA?
I came up in MMA. I started training in like 2010, 2011. And then as I got older, I mean, I kept competing in MMA through the years, but as I got older, I got the opportunity to do bare knuckle. Something about the just the brutality of it drew me in. I think that's something that kind of can separate me from other people is the willingness to get in there and bleed. So, it was something that I had to give a try.
Dope. So you were in MMA before, is that correct?
Yeah.
Nice. Was it amateur or pro?
I went pro.
Nice.
I went pro. Grappling was never my strong suit, so I went pro. Lost a few fights in the grappling department, and that's when I got the opportunity to just strike for a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, the grappling sucks. I used to do amateur MMA, so yeah, I know how that is. Long time ago. Chris, look, you got any questions?
Bro. Yeah, I was about to say. First thing is, I couldn't even hear you in the first question, so forgive me if I repeat the same question you already. And second, all right, when it comes to fighting, like, what are some key pointers that you always have to remind yourself whenever you let's say you've been training, you're going through training, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, what are some things that your trainer always tells you to stay on point on?
I mean, the biggest thing I think is cardio. I've been fighting for a long time, so I know how to fight. We're not learning new skills really in camp. It's just getting in shape and being ready to go and go the 5 rounds if we need to. So that's the biggest part. I mean, obviously we're sparring and keeping everything sharp, but as far as the main focus is trying to stay in shape. If I get in there and know that I'm not going to get tired, I'm a dangerous person. Getting tired makes any man scared in there. It's not fun to be gasping for air and a guy's trying to take your head off. So that's always the number one focus is making sure our cardio is on point.
Dope, yeah, because I see a lot of fights where they're basically worn out in like the first 60 seconds of the fight because they don't do their cardio or they probably still smoke or something like that. Or they smoke before the fight. But anyways, how do you mentally prepare for an intense and brutality of a big fight?
I don't know. It's not really. It's not something I really have to mentally prepare for. It's kind of just something that I have naturally, I guess. I've been fighting my whole life, so there's not really. To me, it's fun. I love that going in there and just getting cut up and seeing who can take the most. That's to me. That's the most one-on-one sport you can have. You know, like it's the most true sport in the world is going in there and just slugging it out and seeing, you know, who has what and who can stay in there the longest. And um, so yeah, I don't really have to mentally prepare for it. There's not a lot of nerves for me going into it. I'm not afraid of what can happen in there. Obviously, you know, it's all happened before, so that helps a lot.
Nice, nice. You got any more questions, Crash List?
Hey, I got a question. Have you ever like felt happy to meet someone in the ring, or is there anyone in the future that you want to meet in the ring?
I was pretty happy to meet my last opponent in the ring. I mean, it's somebody that I have watched in the region and around my area for a long time and wanted to fight. He had a really good record, and I knew it was something I could take. So that was a fight. That was the most excited for a fight that I've been. I didn't really like the guy, kind of just an arrogant. It came across to me as arrogant and stuff. So I've always wanted to knock him out. So this was the first time I've ever gotten to go into a fight like fucking excited. I'm about to, you know, like not necessarily with anger or like hating on the guy, but like I wanted to hurt him, you know. So it made it a lot easier. Most of the time, sometimes it gets tough. The toughest part you were talking about mentally, the toughest part sometimes is what you're gonna do to that person, because most of these guys are cool. They got families, like, you know, but knowing that you're gonna go in there and try to destroy them, because you know you have to get past them being a human and dehumanize them in the ring, and that's kind of the one of the hardest mental parts is just getting past that. But for this, I didn't have that. You know, I wanted to hurt this guy, and so I was happy. I was excited.
Nice, nice. Yeah, how did it feel when you actually knocked that person out round one in the first 30 seconds? And when was that? Like, because I've seen videos that's like 4 months ago. I don't know if it's accurate or not.
Yeah, it was December 6th, so yeah, like 4 months, a little over 4 months ago. Um, Man, it was crazy. You know, like we plan stuff all the time. Obviously, right? You know, you plan your day out, and usually nothing that goes throughout the day is how you planned it, right? um, I planned out 1,000 fights and visualized 1,000 fights, and they never go the way you visualize them. But this one, for 2 or 3 months leading up to it, I visualized step for step. You know, as soon as the ref says go, I'm going straight after this dude, and if I touch him, he's going to sleep. And so when it happened, it wasn't even a shock. You know, like you see, one of the things that I like about the video, you know, and the highlight is you see guys get these knockouts, you know, especially something like that, like a real fast one. They go crazy, lose their mind, like because they're shocked. They're like, "Holy shit, I can't believe that just happened." But when I dropped him, I looked at him, turned to the crowd, and just fucking, I knew that was what was gonna happen. You know, so there was no surprise. It was just everything just went just like it was supposed to. Um, yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I bet you it gained a lot of popularity in the bare knuckle world.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, like you know, it's gonna be hard to beat the record. Obviously, like that was a pretty close one. Not too like a month or two ago. But if you watch mine and slow it down and like put the actual timer on there, like my opponent was kissing the mat at 1 second, like 1.00. His lips are touching the mat, and so yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's almost impossible to touch somebody that fast because they know you're coming. It's not like
Yeah.
you know, it's not like a slap fight. They're not just gonna let you do it. So you know, just to touch somebody that fast is damn near impossible. And then to touch them with the kind of power to put them to sleep like that, well, one shot is unheard of. You know, if it happens, it's going to be one of the big guys. I think might be maybe a heavyweight, but I don't know how they can be fast enough to touch them that fast. You know, but in the lighter weight classes, you're not going to find guys with enough power to do that. Not very often.
Yeah. I thought it was 30 seconds, but you said it was 1 second. So yeah.
Yeah, it was officially it went in the books as 2 seconds, the fastest knockout in combat sports history. But that was like when they stopped it was 2 seconds. But he was face down at 1 second.
Dang. I'm surprised you're not on Joe Rogan right now or Conor
Me,
McGregor.
me too, a little bit.
I'm like,
Yeah, a lot. I
in
mean,
the
they all talked
history
about
of
it. Like
Bareknuckle.
Connor talked about it. Like he posted on his story and um, saying good stuff about it, and it made it a lot of places. I mean, it was everywhere from Forbes magazine to USA Today. Everybody covered it, so it got out there. I mean, everybody knows who I am for sure.
Yeah, so no endorsements from it? I'm like,
I mean,
really?
they're coming in. It's a slow process, these big businesses,
Yeah,
and when you're talking about that kind of money, nothing really goes fast. But yeah, they're definitely coming.
nice, nice. So you better be rich and famous by the time your
I
next
hope so.
match is.
I hope so. That's
Yeah,
the plan.
dope. A lot of blessings coming your way. Crash Love, you got any more questions for the history and legend?
When's your next fight?
I'm waiting to get something booked right now. I got a couple injuries that I'm trying to get taken care of, but looking at maybe August. They're doing that. They got a big event at Sturgis Bike Week, the 85 or 85th anniversary bike week at Sturgis. Is gonna be like 40, 50,000 people there. That's kind of what I got in my mind. I'm trying to get on that card if we can.
Nice, nice. What about the one in Fort Worth, Texas? That's coming up in June, I believe.
Yeah, it's not much difference. I would be down with that too. Sturgis, something about Sturgis. I mean, since I was a little kid, me and my cousin would like look at bike magazines and see like these pictures of the Sturgis rally, and he passed away a couple years ago. And part of the reason that I'm really pushing now is in his honor, and so something about going to Sturgis and being able to fight there would just be really cool and close to my heart. But I'd be down for Texas too. Though I've always wanted to go to Texas.
What advice would you give to someone who thinks about getting into bare knuckles or any boxing or athlete sport, MMA, and all that?
I think the biggest thing is just if you believe in yourself and you know this is what you're supposed to do, don't listen to what anybody else says. Don't let failure and um, mistakes hold you back and make you change your mind. If this is what you want, go for it. You're gonna fail. You're gonna fall. If you don't, then I mean, there's only a couple people in history, that don't get beat and don't take losses. So just because you get beat once or twice, that's not the end of the world. Keep pushing, and you never know. You might be 38 years old, and all of a sudden you break out. But you just got to keep pushing.
Nice, nice. So, do you know when you like say do they do call outs in bare knuckles, or they just tell you you find this person and that's it unless they back out?
I mean, we talk shit, so there are call outs that happen. I haven't gotten called out by anybody in my weight class. There's been a couple like bigger guys trying to get a hold of it. Um, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not the easiest call out because there's a lot of you're putting yourself at a lot of risk if you call me out. You know that I have the power to put you out. So if
What
it was
weight
me,
class
if it
are
was
you
me, I would be calling myself out because I have something that people can build their own name off of. So I would be coming after my ass, but it doesn't seem like
in?
anybody wants it.
Yeah. What weight class you in, if you don't mind me asking?
135,
What is that? Welterweight,
no
featherweight?
bantamweight.
Okay. Because we interviewed Esteban Rodriguez. Maybe you guys could do a bare knuckle match. I don't know. He's second welterweight, I think it is.
Who is it?
This is
Esteban Rodriguez.
yeah, Mohawk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's I think he's like a light heavyweight, or maybe he's quite a bit bigger than me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then we almost have Christine Ferreira. We've been trying to get
Yeah,
her on here.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's dope, man. That's the queen. There's not another woman in bare knuckle that can stand up next to her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
She's a
And
monster.
she's here in Vegas with. Yeah, I almost met her in person, but I had something happen, so I couldn't meet her up. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah. Any more questions, Crash Love? Look all zoned out.
No, I was actually listening and I was enjoying. I was actually learning. That's all, learning.
So no questions.
Yep,
All
I don't got any. Not off the top of my head, right off the rip. Yeah.
right. So, hey, I got another question. What was the worst injury you ever sustained in a fight, or have you ever got injured before? That you recall?
Yeah. My last fight before this one, I dislocated my collarbone, like right here in the middle, like
Woo.
where your collarbone comes together. It popped out. Um, so that was a pretty rough one, I guess. Yeah, very awkward. You know, I didn't even know that was possible. I didn't know that was something that could happen, but um, I guess so.
Like, did you pop it out, or what was the injury result? Like,
Yeah, it was dislocated.
broken?
It was
I
dislocated.
know you can. Dang, I think I know you can pop it out, but I thought I could have heard you said you broke it. I'm like, golly,
They,
that's a
all the doctors thought it was
different.
broken, but because of the way that it was swollen and how it looked, the doctors were convinced it was swollen. But then when I got the X-rays and stuff, they said it had dislocated.
Ooh, I bet you they went like popped it in and it hurt like a
Yeah,
pain in the butt.
yeah. I had already by the time I got to get it X-rayed, I had already gotten it back in myself. The swelling was still there, but it was back in position by the time I got to the X-rays and everything.
Oh, dope. Tell everybody who is Justin Watson, the warmonger, like your daily routine, your daily life. Not a lot of people,
And,
everybody's talking about and stuff.
yeah, I'm an older guy. I got a daughter that I take care of, and that's my main priority is her. And um, being able to do something to make her proud is a big part of this journey. Um, like I said, I'm for this sport. I'm not necessarily too old, but like for MMA, I'm 38 years old, so for MMA, my time is kind of over. Um, and I don't have a ton of time left here in Bareknuckle either, but I'm here to make every minute of it count. And we're trying to go to the moon.
Yeah, dope, dope. What, is there an age limit for bare knuckle, or how is that?
No,
Just
I
you
mean there's
want
not an age
to,
limit, but like father time catches up to you. You just can't take shots forever. Um,
yeah,
a lot of us, especially older guys in bare knuckle, we've been fighting for 15 years, 20 years, so we've taken a lot of damage over the years. Um, so I don't know. Bare knuckle is you're not taking as much like deep damage, like deep tissue in the brain. It's a lot more, laceration, just superficial damage, so you can last a little bit longer. But the chin's got an expiration date, and
yeah,
that's coming eventually.
yeah. We're about to get the Hall of Famer in here. I don't know if you know who it is.
Who's that?
Mort Goldsmith.
Oh yeah, I
I
saw that.
think
I'm not sure who it is, but I saw you post about it.
yeah, he's on the Hall of Famer. He got inducted either '09 or 2019. He fought in the '70s before it was
Oh wow.
legal. Yeah, I didn't know it was that long ago. I was trying to find videos of him fighting, but he told me for obvious reasons you can't
Yeah,
record
there's
during
not.
that time
Yeah,
because
it's crazy. I mean, even you'd think everything's on the internet now. You think you can find whatever, but I got a fight from like a pro fight from 2021 or 2022 that you can't even find anywhere on the internet. It's like I don't know, it's crazy. But my older fights, you can't find hardly any of those on like stuff from the early 2010s. You can't even find that stuff. So I'm sure from the 70s, unless it was a big deal, there's not going to be much footage out there.
yeah, it was basically like the speakeasy of during for boxing. If you
Right?
ever
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's like me when I did it for 10 years. It was nothing really big. It was amateur. Who wants to watch
Hmm.
amateur fights? unless it was pro, it'd be a different story. Yeah,
Right.
so I really don't know anything on that particular, but who knows if they find a sheet, because there's sheets out there, like say if you trying to sign up for something but you can't do pro or amateur, if you win this many fights, it will show up on a rap sheet. If you know what I mean.
Hmm. Yeah, there's some. I
That's
mean,
the
there depend. Yeah, it all depends on where you fight at. Like, if it's sanctioned or not. If there was a sanctioning body, then there's a record of it somewhere. Even if there's not video, they've got record of it. But a
yeah.
lot of stuff, I don't know when you fought, but like when I was starting, a lot of that stuff wasn't sanctioned, and like there wasn't even a sanctioning body in most states. So if you were fighting in these states, like this stuff just doesn't go on your record because there wasn't anybody really keeping up with it. There um, wasn't a board of like people making sure things went the way they were supposed to go. Now there is. Now you have to, there's commissions for amateurs and pros, separate commissions in every state. So you have to go through the commissions to get licensed as an amateur and a pro. And so they keep up with everything, keep track of all that stuff, keep track of the medical suspensions, everything. But yeah, it wasn't always like that for sure. It's come a long way.
Yeah, because I did it from '09 to about 2010. So in
Yeah.
Chicago, so it's like it was. I don't. Part of it was on paper, but I'm scared because I want to go in brawling like those. I don't know if you heard of Redneck Brawl.
Yeah.
Or what's the other one? There's a lot of brawls, so I'm
Hmm.
scared like to lie and then they end up finding something. So I don't know if it was on a rap sheet or if it was. So
Yeah.
one of them
I mean, you
actually
can look.
told the truth.
The best way to look is to go to Tapology. If there's nothing on Tapology, then it's probably wasn't kept up with. But even, I mean, like the redneck brawls and stuff. I know guys that were like legit amateurs that went and fought the redneck brawls, and they didn't stop them. And I mean, they were like 6 months ago, I saw a dude in Knoxville heavyweight that was fighting like top amateur heavyweights in the region 6 months before that. You know what I'm saying? Like your fights are 15 years ago. It's that
Yeah,
also
because
plays a factor.
yeah,
It's like starting over.
yeah. What they told me, I had to find somebody that's in my league because I overqualified, and they inboxed me. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
and I most likely can't sign up again because I actually told them. So I
Yeah.
gotta look for another. So that was my shot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of them. I've seen a bunch of them going around, and those things, it's crazy. I would do it if they would let me because they get way more. I mean, like I came up in like the East Tennessee region, like Knoxville, and our local MMA promotion has been. I mean, it's been going for 15 years in the region, in that area in Knoxville, and it doesn't do nowhere close to the same numbers as if Redneck Brawl comes into town, and these guys can't fucking fight. So it's like,
yeah.
I don't know why, for whatever reason it sells though.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people like to get drunk before or after or smoke.
Yeah.
So it tires them out real fast. So I'm like, if I would have just lied, I probably did some
Yeah.
numbers. Because
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm interviewing a lot of them, and one of them I'm interviewing in a couple of weeks. All he did is backhand them, and he got dropped on the floor, and he's getting millions of views. I'm like,
It's crazy.
telling me I could get million views if I do the same thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. But then you see guys that are like putting in work every day, and then they go out there and have like a spectacular finish in an amateur promotion, and they get no highlights. Like, it gets seen by like 50 people. It's crazy the way that works.
I know what it is. We interviewed a couple of them, like Conspiracy Smoke Show, Taylor the Trailer. Who else on here? Jody, I forgot his name. Kentucky Wildman. We got a couple of them on there. We got more coming. Lumberjack. They're pretty good in what they do.
Yep.
I call it unorthodox type of fighting, but Taylor Trader is actually he's stepping up. I see. Shout out to him.
I mean, there's a path to bare knuckle for him. It's kind of a similar a similar style of fight. You know, bare knuckle isn't. It's not boxing. It's not MMA. It's its own thing. It's a brawl. It's like a. I mean, it's like a bar fight for real. You know, like
Yeah,
it's a different thing, and so that unorthodox style could play, play to their advantage.
yeah, it is. But anyways, that is all for today. Thank you being on, Justin Watson, aka Warmonger. Tell everybody where they can find you at, and hopefully we see you in the ring soon.
Yeah, man. BK underscore warmonger on all social media. You'll be able to find me just like that.
Yeah, great, great. Yeah, tune in, check him out, and make sure to check us out on this YouTube, the Sportify Show, and Facebook, the Sportify Show. If y'all want to join our membership, the Sportify Army, you just go onto our YouTube page or at Sportify Show 1. See all the scoops gift. You get special emojis, our lives, one-on-one gameplay, because me and Crash like to play games. But yeah, that is all for today. Justin Watson, thanks for having us. And you tell them, you know what time it is.
Yes, sir.